In 2019, a woman in Virginia was questioned by police after her house made a 911 call. Except she didn't dial it. She wasn't even home. It wasn't the first time. Over a 6-week period, emergency services received 6 different 911 calls from her address. Each time, silence. Then a whisper. "Help me, please." Each time, police arrived to find nothing. No break-in. No sign of a call. Just Elaine Monroe, confused, scared, and eventually, desperate. She lived alone. No pets. No children. No landline. And according to her cell phone records, she never made a single call. The first officer thought it was a prank. The second call raised eyebrows. By the third, they pulled audio from the dispatcher. Static, then shallow breathing. A whisper, "He's watching me." Elaine was terrified. She had just moved in. Fresh divorce. New start. Quiet neighborhood. Now, she was waking up at 3 a.m. to find her front door unlocked. Sometimes wide open. She installed cameras. She changed the locks. Twice. She even had the local department check for hacked smart devices. Nothing. No footage. No signs of tampering. Except one thing. Each 911 call always came at night. Always between 2 o'clock and 3:30 a.m. And always from the same GPS point. Inside the house. Elaine wasn't sleeping anymore. She started keeping her phone in hand. Lights on. Doors double-checked. But the calls kept coming. And then, the police let her hear the 5th recording. "He's in the walls." That was the moment everything changed. She called in a private investigator. A former cop turned security expert. He did a full sweep of the home. Took thermal scans. Checked every square inch. Attic, clear. Basement, normal. Walls? Not normal. Behind the bookshelf in her study, there was a false panel. Behind that panel, a crawlspace. Dark. Cramped. And clearly used. Inside, they found a thin mattress. Empty water bottles. Cans of food. And a burner phone, still powered on. That phone? It had an auto-dial shortcut. Speed dial 911. Elaine collapsed. She couldn't breathe. She hadn't just been scared. Someone had been living inside her house. Watching her. Moving behind her walls. Maybe even walking freely while she slept. Police came back. Forensics went in. There were fingerprints on the food cans. DNA on the bedding. And what they discovered next took the case from bizarre to unbelievable. The DNA didn't match the man who'd lived there before. Didn't match any neighbor. Didn't even match any known person Elaine had interacted with. Instead, it matched a wanted fugitive out of Ohio. A man linked to 3 other home invasions, and 2 missing women. His name? Victor Hale. Victor had a habit of hiding. Not in forests. Not in alleys. But inside homes. He'd been arrested once in 2012 for hiding in a family's attic for over 2 weeks, completely unnoticed. Charges were dropped. Now, he was back. Elaine's house wasn't haunted. It wasn't cursed. It was a hunting ground. They issued a manhunt. Posters. State alerts. But Victor? Gone. Elaine moved out. Left the furniture, the clothes, everything. She couldn't sleep in that house again. Would you? Here's the worst part. A week after she left, another 911 call came from inside that house. Same whisper. Same time. Same voice. Was Victor still inside? Or was it someone else? But what the police didn't tell the public. There were 2 beds in that crawlspace. 2. Elaine Monroe had already left the house. She wanted nothing more to do with it. But when investigators pulled the crawlspace apart, they found a second mattress, tucked into a tighter space, shielded by insulation boards. Next to it was a second burner phone, dead, but clearly used. And a small black notebook. Written in pencil. Shaky. Obsessive. One page repeated 5 words. "She can't hear us now." Authorities had assumed the DNA matched only one man, Victor Hale, the known fugitive. But when the second bed was discovered, they ran a separate test on fibers and blood traces found near it. The results came back. And they were not Victor's. The DNA belonged to a woman. Unknown. No match in Cody's. No missing persons report. No identity. Now it wasn't just a case of a stalker hiding in someone's walls. It was possibly a duo. One man. One woman. Both living undetected. Both disappearing without a trace. Police widened the investigation. They traced Victor Hale's movements through old burner phone records and gas station surveillance, anything. One lead surfaced. 2 months before Elaine moved into the house, a call was placed to a hardware store in a nearby town. A voice asked for soundproof insulation, tape, and tools for wall reinforcement. The caller ID? Blocked. But the store's delivery log listed the recipient. V. Hale, Pine Hollow. It gets worse. When they reviewed the delivery footage, there were 2 people in the truck. Victor in the passenger seat. And a woman driving. Face blurred by sunglasses and a cap. She was never identified. Investigators now believed Victor had help. A partner. Maybe even a handler. And based on the layout of the crawlspace, it looked like she had been there longer than him. Then came the chilling break. A forensic tech going through the burner phone recovered fragments of deleted text messages. One stuck out. "Don't let her find the vent door." Meanwhile, Elaine, now relocated to another state, was trying to move on. But she couldn't sleep. Couldn't trust the silence. Then she received a letter. No return address. Inside was a photo of her house's basement door. Fresh. Taken after she left. On the back, in messy writing. "It was never about you." She called police. They scanned the photo. No fingerprints. No identifying marks. But the photo paper? Traced back to a custom inkjet brand sold only at one store, in her new city. Whoever sent it, was close. The FBI stepped in. This wasn't an isolated case anymore. A missing persons report from 2016 was reopened, a woman named June Avery who vanished after reporting noises in her attic. Different state. Same pattern. Her last 911 call had the exact phrase. "I think he's in the walls." That call was made exactly 3 years before Elaine's first. And then, the notebook. The second crawlspace notebook was finally analyzed for handwriting patterns. The conclusion? It matched the writing in June Avery's childhood journals. She was the woman in the wall. Or at least, she used to be. But where is she now? The timeline's messy. Was she being held? Was she helping? Or worse? Was she groomed into becoming the second intruder? Weeks later, Elaine's old house was sold. The new buyer moved in, unaware of everything. The police, legally, couldn't disclose it all. Then, 3 days after the new owners settled in, another 911 call. Same address. Same whisper. But this time, The voice didn't say, "Help me." It said, "We're home now." Note: the case is still classified as open and under federal review. Victor Hale has never been found. June Avery's status remains unknown. And the new homeowners? They moved out after just 4 nights. The house is currently empty. But emergency dispatch still gets calls. Same time. Same voice. She can't hear us now. 3 days after the new owners moved in, they left. Didn't wait for the lease to expire. Didn't take most of their belongings. The reason? They never officially gave one. But they left behind something in the crawlspace. Something new. It wasn't food. Not sleeping bags. Not phones. It was a stack of photos. All of them were of Elaine. Some recent. Some from before she moved into the house. One from 5 days ago. Taken from inside her new home. She wasn't just being watched. She was being followed. Elaine was rushed into police protection. The FBI escalated it to active threat status. If Victor Hale and the unknown woman, now presumed to be June Avery, were still alive, they weren't hiding anymore. They were hunting. Agents monitored Elaine's new apartment. She was moved to a safe house. The day after she left, the apartment landlord got a noise complaint. Scratching. Tapping. Late at night. The maintenance team opened an old vent cover behind the bedroom closet. Inside, they found a wire. A phone charger. A discarded receipt for canned soup and batteries. The receipt was dated 2 days prior. Elaine had been living with someone in her walls, again. Agents pulled street cam footage from stores near the address on the receipt. One camera caught a blurry figure at 1:13 a.m. Slender frame. Female. Wearing a gray hoodie with a small logo. Staff, Pine Hollow Psychiatric. The building had closed down in 2015. Same year June Avery disappeared. The FBI obtained clearance to enter the old Pine Hollow Psychiatric Facility. It had been condemned, half of it collapsed from mold and flooding. But in the far east wing, behind a crumbling medical records room, they found a nest. Mattresses. Cans. Scrapbooks. A burner phone with one number saved. Elaine Monroe. And written in marker on the wall. "You left us there." The FBI now had a theory. Elaine wasn't a random victim. She was a target. Not just because she moved into the house, but because of who she used to be. Here's what the FBI found in sealed juvenile records. Elaine Monroe was born Elaine Avery. She had changed her name after a court-sealed adoption when she was 8 years old. June Avery was her biological sister. They were separated after a tragic incident. Their parents died in a murder-suicide. June was institutionalized. Elaine? Adopted. Given a new identity. Never told the truth. She didn't know June existed. But June? June remembered everything. Victor Hale wasn't just a stranger. He was a former orderly at Pine Hollow Psychiatric. And investigators now believe he may have helped June escape. But instead of running, they planned. What started as a reunion turned into something else. Something darker. Something neither of them walked away from. Elaine, now in federal custody, was told the truth. She had unknowingly returned to the one place June had lived, the house near Pine Hollow. And that house may have been Victor and June's first hiding place. Before Elaine ever stepped foot in it. That's when the final call came in. 911. No number. Just a voice. She knows now. We can come home. Agents stormed the Pine Hollow facility again. Nothing. Except for a wall, recently painted. Under the paint, faint pencil marks. We waited. She forgot. We remembered. Victor Hale and June Avery have not been seen since. No confirmed sightings. No phone activity. Elaine lives under an assumed name. Location, classified. But every July 9th, the date of the first 911 call from her home, a call still comes in. Same time. Same whisper. We're home now. If this story kept you on edge, there's more where that came from. Like, share, and subscribe to Criminally Untold, where the truth hides in shadows, and the fiction feels too real. Hit the bell so you never miss the next twist.